So I thought, what can I do today? What can I do today? Because it's just been one of those days of moving and shifting and going and flowing with what was coming up. And I was talking to one of my divine activate angels, and she's like, "Do gratitudes." And I'm like, "Yes." People always ask me, "How do you do it?" Like, they're curious, that they want to know, how do you do it? How do you do your gratitudes? How do you do your mindset? How do you do your daily routines? So I'm going to come on and share with you how I do my gratitudes, and I'm really excited. And I'd love to know, what are you grateful for today? What is the biggest thing you're grateful for today? And when we're doing gratitudes, this is one thing to touch on. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be the tiniest thing. The thing that I am, and let me know what you're grateful for from today. The biggest thing that I am grateful for was that I got to walk outside and pick some coriander, some mint, and some rosemary for my cooking tonight, for my dinner, to put in my salad. It completely transformed the flavor of just an ordinary salad into something spectacular. And I'm so grateful that I have that there. And this is when you start expanding. Then I was going into thinking about, I'm really grateful for the sun that grew it, and the rain and the water that helped bring it to life. And you can start getting yourself into even deeper gratitudes for everything, because gratitudes don't need to be huge and massive, although it can be nice if they are. It can be the smaller things. And the thing with doing gratitudes is it's really opening up your heart. It's taking your heart into a beautiful space of feeling the love. Now, why I do gratitudes in the morning and I do them at night. In the morning, I do what I'm going to be grateful for throughout the day. I sort of feel into how my day is going to unfold, and I set the intentions, and I just whatever comes through, I'm grateful for. And I usually actually do them before I get out of bed, and it's always my pillow. I'm always grateful for my pillow and my beautiful blanket, because that's allowed me to have a gorgeous, restful sleep. So we can be grateful for the most tiny things, and we can be grateful for the big things. And that's what's so beautiful about gratitude. It's whatever opens and touches your heart. And when we get into this space, we actually get into a beautiful manifestation stage. And when we're in a love state, we attract more of that, because that's the vibration and frequency that we're in. So the reason why I really do gratitudes for my day when I go to sleep is a few things. It clears my mind. It allows my mind to just rest. Because otherwise, if you go to bed and you're in that stage of you're thinking about your day, what you have to do tomorrow, all that sort of, things that really don't matter, because that's in the future, in the past, when we should be living in the present moment. And when we can actually release and get out of our minds, we get into this beautiful state of being. And when we go to sleep, and how we wake up, are the two most important things and times of our day. So when you go to sleep with a beautiful open heart and you're grateful, you're actually manifesting and healing when you sleep. So you're bringing more of that juiciness in. And you're also allowing your body to rest and your mind to rest and get into that beautiful state of just being in the moment, in the now. And you drift off to sleep in such a beautiful place. I also, not always, but I tend to do a meditation before I go to sleep as well. Depending on, maybe I do a crystal bowl one if there's something around my chakras, or I just sort of feel into it, or I just do, I've got a lovely heart meditation I do, which is even nicer. I just like to completely clear my mind. The worst thing we can do is get onto our phones before we go to sleep. Now, I did this the other night. I will be 100% transparent. I got onto, it was TikTok. I got onto TikTok. I never get on TikTok. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have a look at it. And I started looking into it. And unfortunately, there were certain things that were triggering me that made me feel not in the space that I wanted to. And it was after I'd done my gratitude. So that's when I did my meditation. So be really, really consciously aware of how long before you go to sleep you're picking up your phone. Because when you're feeding your phone with whatever that you're looking at, that's the emotion and the vibration and the frequency that you're going to sleep in. You want to go into sleep in a beautiful, restful state with an open heart. Because as I said, our body heals when we go to sleep. Our mind, when we can allow it to rest, it actually does a lot of decluttering, defragging. It's like a computer. It's in that space where it's actually clearing out what it doesn't need. If it's constantly going over thoughts and feelings and things that have happened for your day, or you're worried about what's happening tomorrow, or what are you going to cook, and I've got to do all this stuff in my day, oh my goodness, you create this real static energy, and it's like a frustration place. And your body, it doesn't go into the state that it needs to be able to do what it needs to do for you. So I really, really encourage doing gratitudes and doing a meditation before you go to sleep. I really, really do. So how I do mine is I light a candle. I light a beautiful candle. I light incense. I light my incense. And that starts to set the mood. It starts to calm my nervous system. Just looking at the light, I mean, it's beautiful, and smelling the gorgeous smells. It starts just to get me rested. It also sends a signal, because I've been doing this for a while. When you start, I mean, everything, when it's a habit, it sends a signal to my body that it's now time to go into a rest stage. It's now time to go into a stage where, you know, it knows what it's going to do, because it's a pattern. It's a very healthy habit that I have created. So my mind actually starts shutting down. And the more and more you do this, the more and more it happens. I'm saging, I'm clearing my energy field, just clearing it, getting away any static energy from the day, anything that I'm carrying, just allowing my aura and everything to be cleared. And the smell, I just take a few beautiful deep breaths and just smell the incense and the sage. And it's really funny. I'll tell you a funny story. When I started dating my husband, he actually had incense. And I remember walking into his house for the first time and going, what is that horrible smell? And it was incense. And it was not something that ever came in my field. I was, completely a different person. I was an ex-addict. It was not something that I knew anything about. And now I love it. It's actually quite calming and therapeutic. So this also sets a signal to my body that we're getting into a beautiful state of just relaxing. We're relinquishing the mind, we're being in the moment, and we're just allowing ourselves to start deepen into this present state. We're just not thinking about anything else. We're just starting to quieten ourselves down. And then I like to take a few beautiful deep breaths, and I close my eyes, and I welcome you to do this with me. And I just close my eyes, and I just allow myself, sorry, I got an itchy foot. Excuse me for a minute. What that means. I start to get into my Zen state, and I start to allow my body to get rested. I've already sent the signals to say, hey, it's time to chill out. It's time to close down. It's time to relinquish the mind. It's time to get into this moment. Let's just take a few deep breaths to get into the body. So now we're going to start moving into the body, and the nervous system's already starting to slow down. I can feel it. So I take a couple of 3 beautiful deep breaths in through my nose and out through my mouth. And when I release it out through my mouth, I'm just letting go of anything I'm holding on to. Anything from today, any stresses, any worries, anything that's come that I don't want to hold on to, any emotions, any feelings. I just let them go. I've already done my journaling. I've already done my journaling before this, so I've let them go. I've cleared it from my mind, and I've come into this space. So I just close my eyes, and I just in through the nose. I try to do 6 counts in, hold for 2, and then 6 counts out. Allow my shoulders to drop. Get into this space, breathe in again. Hold for 2, and exhale. And with every exhale, I just feel everything flowing away. And one more time. And I just sit in this energy for a little bit. Allow my mind to be cleared. I set the intention to focus on the divine, beautiful things that have happened throughout the day. And I even focus on the things that have taught me lessons, like if something hasn't quite gone how I wanted to, if something has been brought into my field that I need to process or I need to look at, I still feel into the beautiful gratitude of that. And I just feel into this present moment in my body. I send my body love and gratitude. You can send God, Source, the universe, whoever you believe in, gratitude, your family, gratitude. Just send everybody a gratitude bubble that you love. And that starts to open up my heart. It'll open up your heart. It'll start you getting centered, very balanced, very grounded in this moment. And that's the key. You just want to be here right now, in this beautiful space. And then I start bringing in the things that I'm grateful for through the day. I start bringing them into my field. And I bring in that, first of all, with a visualization, the biggest thing that I was grateful for. What's the biggest thing? And as I said before, mine was walking outside and picking those beautiful herbs to be able to just give that zen, that beautiful lift to my salad and to nourish my body. And the smells of it. I bring the smell in, and I bring in the gratitude and the way I was feeling when I was eating it and when I was picking it. And I try and focus on the way I was feeling. And sometimes you can bring it in, sometimes you can't quite get it. So I bring it in, I feel the love, I feel the gratitude, and it just sets the tone for my gratitudes. Then I pick up my pen, my sparkly little gratitude diary, and I just start journaling. And the way I journal is I always go, I am grateful for. I am grateful and happy for. You can do it different ways, but it's always I am grateful and happy for. That's how I journal, because that brings in the gratitude and that brings in the happiness. So I'm bringing in the abundance of joy and happiness, which is just two key things to expansive growth and bringing in more and just getting into that real high vibrational energy and frequency of receiving. Because when we're grateful, we're receiving. When we're grateful, we're opening ourselves up. And that is just one of the most juiciest places to be in. So then I just start writing. And then I start writing, I am happy and grateful for the beautiful herbs that are in my garden that I got to pick today. And then I keep going. I am happy and grateful for the rain that fell today and nourished my garden. There you go. And then, even though it drove me absolutely balmy today, the noise, I am so happy and grateful that I get a new roof. I am so happy and grateful for the men that are doing it for me, that are actually up there laying the beautiful foundation work so that I have a roof over my head and all my beautiful security. So I'm not rained on, so that my house can hold the space for me, for my security within. So then I write that. And you can be as simple as you want or as expansive as you want. There is no right to wrong to journaling. It's just getting into that beautiful heart space. Beautiful heart space. I am happy and grateful for my new roof. And then I just keep journaling. And I try to journal for at least, I usually set my clock for about 10 minutes. So I make sure that I scan throughout my day and all the things I was grateful for. And if I get to the space where I've sort of exhausted everything I can think of, and sometimes I'll get 10, sometimes I'll get 50, sometimes I'll get 5. It's just, it depends where you are in that state. I'll tap into the feelings around it more. Like I'll think the water, and I'll think, you know, the beautiful bath, the shower I had, and if I had a bath, I'll be like, oh my God, thank you so much, bath. Thank you to this beautiful incense that's coming on me. But the thing with gratitude is that you've got to feel the love. You've got to feel it. You can't just write it down. Oh, I'm so happy and grateful for that candle. You know, you've got to feel into the emotion of it, because that is where the juiciness is. That's where the absolute game changer happens. I remember when I first started journaling, I couldn't even get to 5 things. And then for the first probably week, 2 weeks, it was pretty much the same 10 things, just regurgitated a different way. I didn't really understand the power of gratitude, and I didn't even know what I was grateful for, because for me, I was living in absolute victimhood, and I struggle, and everything was like, everything was against me, you know, it wasn't in a state of actually being appreciated to what I had, even when it wasn't the great juicy things. So for me now, I can tap in and write pages and pages of gratitudes if I desire. But when I go to bed, I just like doing it for 5 to 10 minutes, just to thank universe, God, source for my day, for what was brought into it, whether it's, as I said, whether it's a lesson, whether it was a trigger, whether it was maybe something that wasn't for me at that moment serving me, but always in the end, I understand the lesson. I'm just grateful for everything that comes in. I really am. And that's the state you need to be in. But when you focus on the things that you are so appreciative for, you get brought more in, more comes to you. So let's just sit in silence for a few minutes and go to our gratitudes together. Let me know what you're grateful for. So when you're doing your gratitudes, just think of the energy and the frequency that you're sending out. It's such a beautiful love vibration. It's such a beautiful open to receiving more energy. It's just a thankful place. And it allows you, when you go to sleep, to be very rested, to be very in your body. I mean, it's how nice is it to go to sleep thinking, oh, I'm just so grateful for my day. I'm just, and feeling that beautiful space, and going to bed going, pissed, that guy that cut me off on the road, God, he pissed me off. I'm so pissed off. I'm so angry. How dare he give me the finger? He was in the wrong. It's just, instead of going, I'm really grateful for that man, I'm sending him love because maybe he had a bad day. It's much better, right? It changes you completely when you're sleeping, and you will find you will have the most restful sleeps. And then when you get up in the morning, then you do gratitudes for your day that's going to happen and how it's going to unfold and everything in it. And I do gratitudes for the people I love, for my friends in the morning. I just do the most gorgeous gratification, and that sets me up for the day in that beautiful heart space. Because it's much better waking up and doing that than waking up and going, oh God, I've got to go to the supermarket, I've got to do this, I've got all these things I have to do, oh my God, when am I going to have the time, oh my God. And you get yourself into a state of already being behind the 8 ball, because how you feel is how your day's going to turn out. And even if it does send little tricky moments throughout the day, you're in that beautiful mind and space that you can actually deal with them better, because you can always flip them. You can flip them from something that's against you to something that is just, things just brush off you. That is what it is. I'm just going to graduate. So I'm going to go and do the rest of my gratitudes now, because I want to get into that beautiful space. So don't forget to let me know what you're grateful for. And that's the other thing. When you send your gratitude out to the world, it has a roll-on effect. It creates such a different feeling in the vibration, the energy. Like when I pass on, people just sort of, and they smile. You hold a different energy and it honestly reflects on others. I know some people, and I love this, if you've got kids or if you're sitting around having dinner or breakfast, especially dinner, you say, you go through your family and you say 3 things that you're grateful for the day. I just love that. I think it is just, number 1, it opens up the line of communication. Number 2, it brings really healthy communication. And number 3, it just, oh my goodness, it's just, it allows the people around you to focus throughout the day on the things that they're grateful for, because they're looking for what they're going to say that night at dinner. So they're actually creating all these, and they're expanding on all their gratitudes. And this is what happens when you do nightly gratitudes, because you're like, what am I going to write about tonight? And you start looking for all the things you're grateful for. You actually start looking, because you think about it. When you start thinking of a yellow car, and you've never thought of a yellow car, and you're like, I quite like it, I wouldn't mind a yellow car. All of a sudden you see every single yellow car. Like you've never seen a yellow car for like 6 months, and all of a sudden there's yellow cars everywhere, because you've brought it into your field. You've actually brought that into your field by thinking about it. Gratitudes are the same. If you start thinking throughout your day, oh my goodness, what am I going to write tonight for what grateful for? You start seeing and opening yourself up to so much more gratitude. That's always been right there, but you haven't noticed it. So it's not even that you're attracting it. It's actually right in front of you, but you've never seen it. You've never acknowledged it. Like, I have a shower now, and I'm so grateful for the water. It changes the way I feel that water on my skin. It's like, it just opens me up to, oh my God, this water actually feels really freaking good. The soap, oh my goodness, what I scrub myself with, wow, that feels nice. Whereas before I'd get in the shower, out, boom, done, towel myself off, and off I'd go. When I'm eating my food now, my food tastes different, because I'm grateful for every single bite. So it brings a different feeling into your environment, and it opens up what you actually are more grateful for, and you see what you have. And you get more grateful, and more gratitude comes in. And then all of a sudden more of that starts coming, and it just starts a roll-on effect. It's so cool. All right, my darling ones, thank you so much for coming on and doing your gratitudes with me. I would love, love, love tomorrow when you wake up, or tonight when you go to sleep, if you're watching the replay, to write down what you're grateful for. And do it every single night, and watch you see the magic that is actually in your life that you don't even see, that you don't acknowledge. What your loved ones actually do for you that you don't even realize. And you'll start saying how grateful you are to them, and you watch the flow-on effect. Let's create some love bubbles. So excited. So I would rather focus on things that bring me happiness, joy, laughter, all the abundant things, than things that bring me stress, craziness, unhappiness, anger. I know that they're part of life and as human as this existence, but let's start focusing more on the love and watch things change. All right, my darling hearts, I am going to go and finish my gratitudes, and then I'm going to do my meditation. And this girl needs an early night because she's tired. I've actually been up since 4 a.m. I was just like, boing, and I'm like, oh, good grief. So it was a beautiful long meditation this morning. Oh dear. But I'm so grateful I woke up early, because I got to have an extra long meditation. And I got to do my beautiful extra half an hour of journaling. So I'm really grateful, because my mind was so clear by the time I worked out. So there you go. Instead of going, oh, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I felt, oh, I wish I want more sleep. Be grateful. Everything's a gift. Everything's a gift. All right, my darling hearts, I'm going to go and finish my beautiful gratitudes. I'd love you to do the same and let me know what came through for you. I'd love to hear it so then we can all get into a beautiful gratitude vibe. Sending you all so much love. Hey, 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 thank you so much for watching my video. If this resonated with you, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my magical videos all around manifestation, holistic healing, spirituality, and why I show and tell you why I call myself the Life Architect. Sending you all so much love.